put my camera on. There you go. Here I am. Now, this is will be a short video, just something that I found very interesting. One of my subscribers, members, sent me an email yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before, to let me know about something that had happened in her area. So I just want to show you, well, first of all, I'm going to read you the email. I won't reveal who the person is. But anyway, so this is what she said in the email. My daughter goes to a rowing club on the River Lune in Lancaster. Yesterday, she went rowing in the early hours and found that 2 rowers had gone over the weir and were in difficulties. One was rescued by a rope, but the other rower went down the river. The River Lune is a much wider river than the River Wyre, and it's fast flowing due to high tides. And the rower was found. Now we think it was between an hour to 2 hours later. This rower was found. Unfortunately, there was nothing that the rescue services could do for this poor guy. So this begs the question, doesn't it? How? I know we keep asking the same question, but we've got to keep asking it, and we've got to anything that we think is relevant to, how strange this all seems. So when you look at St. Michael's, you look at the River Wyre, it's completely different. We know it's a narrow river, it's a shallow river. She was in there supposedly 23 days. She should have been found. Like this poor soul was found within a couple of hours of the Coast Guards, etc., going in there. Anyway, so let's have a look at what the BBC had to say about it. So it made the made the mainstream media. It was worth putting on the BBC. It's on, it was in the local papers. It was in the national papers. And to make the BBC news, they must have thought it was quite sort of significant. I mean, it's always significant when some poor soul loses their life, but, it's not always reported on. So, rower dies after falling from his boat into the River Lune. So look at this river. So you can see there are rocks. It's a very wide river. It says a rower has died after falling into a river. The man had been in a rowing boat but entered the water at the River Lune in Lancaster on Sunday morning. His Majesty, Coast Guard and Lancashire Police. Oh God, it's Lancashire Police again. Goodness. Had been called to Halton Road just after 7:30 after reports 2 men had entered the water. So basically they were in a rowing boat and they both fell in. One man was successfully rescued, thank God, but the second was pulled out of the water unresponsive. So he was found because he got taken over the weir, and despite the best efforts of the emergency services, the man was later pronounced deceased at the hospital. So we can see this river is completely different from the River Wyre. From the picture, you can see how wide it is for a start. There's lots of rocks. You can see the current. I'll see if I can get some more pictures up. So, of course, the point is this guy was found within a couple of hours, this poor guy. Why was Nicola not found within a couple of hours? That is the question, isn't it? So, there's a video there. Let's have a look. No, it's not a video of the river. Right, let me just find some more pictures of it. So there'll be parts of it. Oh, here, I've got some photos here. So, I just want to see how this weir, you can see that it goes into much, because he went over the weir apparently. So, goes into very choppy water, doesn't it? And then no other, let's see. Yeah, no, they always look so beautiful, don't they, rivers? And look at the greenery around in that. Very beautiful, but you can see it's a lot wider than the River Wyre. It looks quite a lot deeper. I mean, we need to look really, it's the Weir bit that is the most important. So there's the bridge going over it. You know, it is much, much bigger. Look at the rocks and the currents. Wow, that's a beautiful picture. Oh, I do miss the countryside. Gosh, there's a balloon there in the distance. I can't, where is the actual river on there? Oh, there. Yeah, it's different, isn't it, from the River Wyre? Even where it looks quite sedate, this looks more sedate, but it is so much wider, bigger. You know, we can see that it's a different type of river. Well, that's very pretty. Oh, nothing to do with the river. Anyway, I think these pictures have cut. Oh, the other thing is we have to remember that these photos, I think there's quite a lot of them. I won't go through all of them, but they are, yeah, you can see it's deeper, it's much bigger. Just generally a bigger, deeper river. And these pictures are like tourist photos, so they'll be showing the best of the river. That's very pretty, that. All those colours, I do love those colours. But we can see there's some of these pictures, you know, we can see the currents here. So basically, the point that, you know, what concerned my subscriber and what concerns me, or not concerns me, or what it illustrates to us is the difference in these rivers. But having said that, this guy was found within a couple of hours. Certainly, no longer than 2 hours later, this poor guy's body was found. So, because they were notified just after it happened, as they were notified just after it happened in Nicola's case. So we know, I think more or less we know for certain, don't we? Really, even though it's not, you know, it doesn't seem to get admitted. I think we do know more or less certainly that, you know, we know that Nicola would have been found. So what we've got to decide from there is, what does that mean? What did happen? You know, we've all got theories. Lots of people have got theories about what happened to Nicola. And that's, I suppose, what's got to come out, isn't it? Anyway, so I just thought you might be interested in that. I thought it was interesting. All these things are interesting. Oh, and that reminds me, actually, we need to look at, you know, there was another girl, Shannon Canning went into the river, and we were looking for her inquest conclusion. Let's have a look. Gosh. Let's see. So her inquest was last Friday, and people had contacted me saying that they were a little bit concerned because they hadn't posted the results. Oh, here you go. It says, now, Shannon. Now, Nicola did not, Nicola's verdict. Oh, let me, sorry, I need to share it with you. Nicola's verdict was not a narrative verdict. In other words, it just simply said, Nicola Bulley died of accidental death. And I'm going to look at that again in a minute. Whereas we can see that Shannon's got a narrative verdict. Shannon Lee Canning died on the, bless her, rest her soul, died on the 24th of May 2023 at the River Lune, Lancaster. gosh, that's that river we were just looking at. She had a history of mental health difficulties and had been drinking alcohol at the point in which she entered the water. So she obviously had alcohol in her bloodstream. Then they say Miss Canning had previously expressed thoughts of suicide and was distressed on the evening she disappeared. However, Miss Canning was intoxicated by alcohol when she walked to the river and had previously attended that bridge in times of distress. I can't believe this. It is not possible to determine how she entered the water or her intentions at the point in which she did so. So, in other words, they have not concluded any verdict. Not an open verdict. Or is that an open verdict? They haven't declared a verdict. Why did they declare a verdict in Nicola's case? They must have been pressured by the family or by someone in the family. It is not. So this is exactly what the verdict should have been in Nicola's case. It is not possible to determine how she entered the water or her intentions at the point in which she did so, which is fair enough. Now, it may be that Miss Canning, Shannon, maybe that she deleted herself, but it's not clear. So they've said that. That is exactly how it should be. Whereas, we go back to Nicola's inquest result. It's not even a narrative verdict. It's not even. I just don't see what the difference is. Yeah, look at Nicola's. 26th of June. Bully Nicola Jane. Nicola Jane Bully died an accidental death. Punto. Punto. That's made me quite angry, actually, because there's no more evidence that Nicola Jane Bully died an accidental death than that there is that poor Sharon Canning died an accidental death. In fact, if anything, because we don't know what exactly happened. That is how the results should be. It's saying we couldn't be determined how she entered the water. But with Nicola, it couldn't be determined either. Oh, dear me. Dear me. It's so frustrating. If any of you out there, you want to write to the coroner and say to them, why is Shannon Canning's verdict this? What is the difference between Shannon Canning's verdict? I can't find it again now. It's here somewhere. Dear me. So for Shannon Lee Canning, who died at the River Lune on the 24th of May, they're going to a narrative verdict. Why was that not done with Nicola? Why was that not done with Nicola? It is not possible to determine how she entered the water. Because he did say that, the coroner, but he said on the balance of probabilities. Oh, goodness me. I don't see I'm a little bit speechless. Everything about this case makes me speechless. So we have to be aware of these things. Poor Shannon. Poor Shannon. And poor Nicola, of course. Okay, so the video turned out a little bit longer than I meant it to. I wasn't in tech, but I'm glad that I looked into Shannon's inquest. Yeah, very sad. But also, it's a real puzzle why Shannon's verdict was given like that, but Nicola's verdict was given completely differently. Okay, remember to always live and love wisely. I'll see you really soon. I'll see you very, very soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Thank you so much.